Hey everybody, it is July the 1st. It is the second half of the year. It is also, Canada Day here in my beautiful country. So wishing everybody happy today. Those of you who are Canadian and hope you're proud to be Canadian, wave the flag. And I got to tell you, we've had a tumultuous, really tough first half of 2022. And here we are starting the second half of 2022. It couldn't be any less tumultuous. It is a tough time, folks, here to be living in a Western society where you would think that hey, it should be good, it should be positive, but I mean, let's be realistic. We live in such negative times. Think about how sad it is, how negative things are, and the negativity is just everywhere. And it really comes down to I want to control. Whether you're the left or right, it's about this control. I talked about it on Wednesday, and I'm going to bring it up today with regarding the Supreme. And I don't care if it's the Supreme Court of Canada, the United States. The Supreme Court is getting attacked like never before. So let's dive into what's been going on lately and keep it under a rock. You missed maybe that the Supreme Court ruled with respect to gun control, blow to the left. Then a week ago today, they overturned Roe v. Wade. And again, a blow to the pro-choicers, very hardcore woke left, liberals, Democrats, whatever you want to call them. And then this week, the Supreme Court ruled that the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, cannot have full 100% control on environmental matters. That destroyed the left. I mean, strike three, you're out. Let's get rid of the Supreme Court. Okay, now let's hold on one just a second. Let me just get into a little bit about that last part so you can actually understand where this is really a mess. You see, the EPA shouldn't control, but of course, the left believes that everything they want should be given to them. So that the court should say that a bunch of bureaucrats in the Environmental Protection Agency should have unlimited, unfettered, uncontrolled, unchecked powers. And Cortez calls this catastrophic. Why does she call it catastrophic? Because it doesn't jive with her beliefs that everything, everything they believe in should be in place. The point is that the Supreme Court of any land, control, okay? It shouldn't be bottom line. You see that at the end of the day, sorry about that. We just had a little bit of a glitch there. At the end of the day, the Supreme Court of the land is a check, a balance to the legislative body. But no, 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 no. See, the left doesn't want you to do that. The left wants what it wants. And I think the best I heard today was that the left, the liberals, the Democrats, whatever you want to call them, the woke, throwing a temper tantrum like a bunch of children. I'm a parent, and if my child would throw a temper tantrum, I'd say, "Go to your room. You didn't get what you wanted." The reality is that the Supreme Court is there to uphold the law. Now, I live in a province where the government has played with the law much to my disgruntlement. It has passed a bunch of language laws, religious-based laws, all kinds of laws that prohibit my freedoms. It's taking away my freedom. And the only way to stop this type of disgusting rule court is to go to a Supreme Court, is to go to the highest court of the land to fight it so that it can be taken down, so that our lives, so that what we feel can be, let's be realistic, that we are free, that we're not oppressed. But God forbid. I mean, let's be realistic. God forbid the left would let that happen. Okay? So what is happening here is that you get statements like the following. Republicans have hijacked the U.S. Supreme Court. Donald Trump put in a bunch of Supreme Court extremists to control. Now, if you look historically in the last number of decades at how many um, different Republican presidents have had Supreme Court justices vote against the, let's call it the law, the line that the Republicans want, it's unbelievable. Let's forget that that's a fact. The politicization of the Supreme Court is absolutely disgusting. We see it in the nominations. We've seen it again, whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats, but it doesn't make a difference. We saw what Donald Trump had done. And now, with all the criticisms thrusted at Donald Trump, the Democrats did the exact same thing in their newest nominee, Kenji Brown. I mean, give me a break. What comments are they saying? We need to do what? Okay? We need to rebalance the Supreme Court. I'm like pissed off Schumer. Made a comment to the with MAGA Republicans and a MAGA extremist Supreme Court attacking LGBTQ rights, women's rights, and so much more. We will keep working with the rights of all Americans. MAGA extremist Supreme Court. This is it. This is your Supreme. This is the left. This is the left. Guys, President Biden today at NATO attacked the Supreme Court yet again by claiming that it's right wing, that it's not doing what they want. Hello, that's what a court is supposed to do. It's supposed to protect our rights and our freedoms where the legislative bodies go too far. It doesn't match the law, and therefore they need to stop it. Now, it isn't great. I am not saying that what happened this week with Roe v. Wade was right or wrong, but it was the law. I'm not saying that the Environmental Protection Agency, the ruling this week, was right or wrong. It's the law. What the EPA got this week was a kick in the nuts by saying, no, you can't have unlimited power. That it has to be balanced between you and Congress. I mean, think about it. It's talking about Congress, the legislative body. And what does Biden do? He says that the Supreme Court has no interest in women's rights and has no interest in the environment. It's not the role of the Supreme Court to make that judgment. The Supreme Court does not take a stand on politics. It takes a stand on law. But the fear that is being thrust at not just the fear, but the, the judges are afraid to do right because the left, when they don't like what they get, they're physically attacking, assaulting, they're chasing, they're going after judges. I mean, this isn't democracy. This is anarchy. The Supreme Court cannot be a political body. Now, I know what you're saying right? David, they are political. Look at the way they sided with Roe v. Wade. Straight down conservatives versus liberals. EPA, conservatives versus liberals. Folks, say what you want. The law, they have feel this way, they have to just substantiate it with law, and it's an interpretation of a law. We've seen that before. It's not about driving politics. The Supreme Court has no power to tell you how to run your life. If they are there to uphold the Constitution, then they are there to uphold the Constitution, whether it's Canadian or U.S. We've seen these blows in Canada. We've seen these blows in the United States. You can't agree with it, but at the end of the day, now when in Quebec, just to give you an idea about how bloody that could be, when Bill 101, the first language law, was brought to the courts and was brought to the top court and was going to be stricken down, that's a new law to replace Bill 101. And they keep doing that here in Quebec. They figured out how to circumvent courts. So is that what we want? Imagine tomorrow morning, because the Democrats have the House and the Senate and the presidency, pass a law that every person has to wear green. Everybody has to wear green. I mean, it's stupid, but everybody has to wear green. You have no choice. You must wear green. You don't go to the Supreme Court and they're going to go, on what basis can you make everybody wear green? There is no law. There's no precedent. It's in violation of people's freedom to do and dress as they wish. Now, I took a completely stupid example, but this is what the Democrats in the United States and the liberals in Canada are trying to do. Force their way with the legislature, force their way with the courts, force their way with bureaucrats so they can get what they want to control. Thank God the Supreme Court is there to stop. Temper tantrum reaction is we should stack the court. That Biden should pass new legislation to add two additional judges to the Supreme Court to tip the balance of conservative to liberal. So instead of 9 judges, you have 11. Thank God Biden is saying no. But this is what the left is trying to do. It's trying to delegitimize the court. But when the court, you know, ruled in their favor, I didn't hear anybody say otherwise. I didn't hear that the Democrats and liberals said, "Oh, we should change the courts." But when Donald Trump put in conservative judges, when he replaced Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a liberal, with Amy Barrett, a conservative, the left lost their mind. He had no right. Yeah, I know about the timing, but Trump had no right. Just like Biden had no right to put this current new Supreme Court justice in place. It's proof positive, once again, how politics has made our lives dirty, disgusting, and uncomfortable. It's right versus left, it's liberal versus conservative, it's Democrat versus Republican. We can't live because the control by both sides is absolutely unbelievable. I heard one person tell me that the Republicans are logical and the Democrats are emotional. No, they're both emotional. They're both power hungry. They both want control. I mean, let's get real. Nobody is above anybody. But today, in 2022, when we should be worrying like hell about putting food on the table, when we should be worried about our gas prices, when we should be worried about inflation, when we should be worried about our living day to day, we divert our attention to the Supreme Court about policies. And I'm not saying Roe v. Wade isn't important, but folks, don't take your eye off the ball here. Politicizing the Supreme Court to try to get votes to be voted back in is what the Democrats are trying to do. They are petrified that they're going to lose the House and the Senate in the upcoming election. And they will do anything and everything in their power, even to make egregious statements like Chuck Schumer calling the court MAGA extremists. That's the politicization that is completely wrong and needs to be stopped today. So don't listen to these statements. You've got to ignore these statements. You've got to fight back. You've got to attack these politicians by saying, would you stop with the bullshit? Would you stop the propaganda and start to deal with what matters to Canadians and Americans on this July 1st, July 4th weekend, on Canada Day and American Independence Day? And we focus on the people, not on your freaking political lives. And that would be ladies and gentlemen, on that, I'm going to wish you all once again a wonderful happy Canada Day weekend, as well as a happy long Independence Day weekend. I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday when school is back, God willing.